Hey everybody, this is the Catholic Esquire coming back to you wanting to talk about what's happening in Los Angeles this month. As you probably are aware and have read news stories, the Los Angeles Dodgers, to support Pride Month, are honoring a disgusting, terrible group of individuals who have labeled themselves as Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They're a bunch of drag queens who have blasphemed and insult and make fun of the Catholic Church and its teachings on many different occasions. And they're going to be given pride of place, no pun intended, on June 16th at an upcoming LA Dodgers baseball game. Well, initially, the Dodgers disinvited them, then they reinvited them back, very apologetic, and saying what a great organization these people are. Now, as you can imagine, this caused a lot of consternation among Catholics, as it should. In fact, there's something very wrong with you if it doesn't cause consternation. And there have been several responses. Even Bishop Barron, who I've criticized on this video channel several times, at least he came out and said, well, I think, this is very bad, a terrible thing, and Catholics should boycott the LA Dodgers. And another group of Catholics are actually planning on showing up on the 16th and protesting to show in person their love for God, their desire to defend him in the public square from such blasphemies and insults. But now we are finding out, just recently, I believe in the last day, it's been a memo from one of the auxiliary bishops of the Los Angeles Archdiocese has gone out to the priests. I'll include a link to this in the description of this video so you can see the news story. Someone managed to get a hold of the memo and published it. And basically, what that Bishop Wilkerson, I believe his name is, what he's saying is that the Archdiocese is not supporting these in-person protests, that they want to take a step back and dialogue with these people and the LA Dodgers, and made it very clear that they don't support these types of in-person protests. Now, the reason I want to make this video is to explain why this effort to get along with the world, to dialogue with the world, which was taught at Vatican II, it's repeatedly taught by the popes since then. Why this cannot be sustained, and why you cannot trust these people, and why this proves that you cannot trust these people to teach you the faith. Like I said, some people are calling for boycotts. Okay, that's indirect protesting. It doesn't take a lot of courage to not buy a baseball ticket and show up at an LA Dodgers game. But at least it's something. It takes much more courage to get a sign out, show up in front of a stadium while thousands and thousands of people are walking in and defending Christ in person and going against the culture which these drag queens represent. It takes much more courage to do that. Unfortunately, the people who control the church today, most of whom are all post-Vatican II bishops, they don't have courage. They lack manliness, they're effeminate, and they're willing to sell God, Christ, and the teachings of the church down the drain in an effort to keep the money flowing in. It's just the reality of the situation, and this incident is proving my point. One of the most egregious, insulting offenses against the church, against God, against religious sisters, And they are saying, we're going to take a step back and dialogue with these people. That's their answer. That's the answer, the official answer, I guess, of the Los Angeles Archdiocese. This should anger you as much as what the sisters are doing in that baseball stadium on the 16th. Because what this is telling us is that these bishops do not have our best interest or the best interest of God in mind when they make decisions. Now, are these people you can trust to teach you and your kids the faith? Do you trust them when they write in encyclicals and push out catechisms and commentaries on Bibles? Can you trust these people? Are they willing to tell you and instruct us about hard truths of the faith? If they're not willing to just step back and say, "Hey, at least let the protesters do what they're going to do, free speech, it's America, why can't they?" They actually go through the trouble of putting a memo out saying, "Oh, no, 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 this isn't us. We're not doing that." They're willing to do that. Are they really willing to tell you about the tortures of hell? That there's no truth? That there's no salvation outside of the Catholic Church? The realities of purgatory? Why we need to make conversions of our Protestant friends and our atheist friends? Are they willing to do that? When they're not even willing to do this, to make a simple stand, allow other people to make a simple stand. I'm not even asking that bishop to go down there himself. No one's even asking them to do that. They just couldn't even keep silent. They had to make a affirmative effort to disassociate themselves with the protesters. That is effeminacy. That is weakness. That is not defending Christ. Why? Well, we all know why. Because they're afraid of what the pushback's going to be. They're afraid of losing money. They're afraid of getting bad publicity. They're afraid of the cultural repercussions of this. And there very well could be. And they're not willing to do it. So why are you willing to put your faith in these people? Now you're going to ask, well, if we can't trust these people to give us the faith, what do we do? Who do we trust? Trust what the church has always done. You can access teachings of the popes before the Second Vatican Council. You can access books. You can access Holy Scripture with good commentaries. All of this stuff exists. You can trust what the church has always taught. These people, these Vatican II bishops, the people who love Vatican II and what it stands for and its accommodations with all the world, they are the ones as individuals that you cannot trust, regardless of if they have apostolic succession. I'm sorry. It's just, you just can't do it because of their actions that show they cannot be trusted. But you can trust faithful, traditional priests and bishops who stick to what the church has always taught. You can trust the books, the encyclicals, the teachings of the church that we've always known up until the 1960s. You can trust those because it's been consistent, constant tradition, defense of the church, defense of Jesus Christ. This stuff isn't hard, my friends. Thank you for listening. Keep up the good fight. Viva Cristo Rey.